Coming out of such a despicable way of getting the job done in his first big Burberry belt defense, the question of precisely who will be able to topple the devil himself is likely at the forefront of many an All Elite fan's mind. So with that in mind, I'm Gareth from What Culture Wrestling, and here are 10 wrestlers AEW should build to dethrone MJF. Number 10, Wardlow. During the pair's gripping feud heading into Double or Nothing 2022, both the War Dog and Salt of the Earth had audiences utterly gripped, with the likes of MJF forcing his one-time bodyguard to jump through various physical hoops in order to get his hands on Friedman at the pay-per-view, sitting as some of the finest moments wrestling had to offer this year. But since MJF's controversial no-showing of a FanFest meet and greet during Double or Nothing weekend, and his subsequent headline-stealing pipe bomb, Wardlow has never really been the same, has he? Largely overshadowed by his former employer's antics, the compelling powerhouse was never really given the chance to follow through on his undoubted momentum post-squashing of Maxwell. Remember that? Feels like a distant memory. Thankfully, MJF and Wardlow have a ready-made storyline just waiting to go whenever TK feels the time is right to pull the trigger on Wardlow as world champion. But it'd likely do that inevitable program a whole world of good if the AEW president reminded fans why they fell in love with the dominant babyface beforehand. In other words, less attempts to make Wardlow's world a thing, and more superhuman feats of athleticism and overcoming of ridiculous odds going forward, please. Number 9, Pac. Often utilised as a trios or tag team worker throughout his run with Tony Khan's promotion, the British badass's recent run as All-Atlantic champion highlighted precisely why the one-time Neville could make for one of the most savage world champions in AEW history if passed the ball by the boss. Merging a both freakishly athletic and utterly merciless arsenal with fierce timing and a willingness to do absolutely everything it takes to win, Pac also comes equipped with a rather underrated promo game, with his down-the-lens eruptions ranking as arguably the most believable of their kind in modern times. Should AEW opt to keep Death Triangle together as a unit going forward as well, the bastard would also be boasting some pretty intimidating backup in the form of one-time AEW World Tag Team Champions, the Lucha Bros. It wouldn't take all that much to convince audiences of Pac's World Championship winning potential either. Just have him go on an absolute tear and rip apart a few credible names en route to grabbing the Reign of Terror by the balls. Number 8, Eddie Kingston. The champ himself has already planted the first seed for this eventual blockbuster showdown, calling Eddie Kingston a fake tough guy who will never be world champion during the official birth of MJF's Reign of Terror. Few wrestlers currently signed to Tony Khan's promotion can rival the unbreakable bond the Mad King shares with the All Elite faithful, with the explosive star's unapologetic authenticity making him one of the most relatable and compelling humans currently busting heads within the business. Also, the promo magic the pair of loudmouth performers would produce when stood opposite one another could even surpass the gold brought about in MJF and CM Punk's instantly iconic verbal sparring sessions. And the no doubt passionate action in between the ropes could make for one hell of a title war, as Kingston finally attempts to win the big one after years of just coming up short. Despite not being front and center on AEW programming for a while now, it also wouldn't take all that much to get fans on side with the idea of this long-time underdog being the one to take Friedman down once and for all. Number 7, Powerhouse Hobbs. The sheer superstar energy Powerhouse Hobbs is exuding right about now suggests that a run with AEW's top strap is very much in his future. Already impressing at this early stage of his post-Team Taz singles run, Hobbs' ruthless domination in between the ropes has understandably caught the attention of the majority of the AEW audience. That and probably the most devastating spinebuster in the game? Yeah, probably. But the monstrous 31-year-old's evolution on the mic also serves as a reminder why Hobbs could very much be the devastating star to take Maxwell's belt away at some point going forward. The Monstar's real-life upbringing in a rough neighborhood, as he put it, is already being incorporated into the Hobbs on-screen character as we speak too. So eventually having a babyface who has truly worked his ass off for everything he's ever wanted come up against an entitled Maxwell would likely make for a genuinely epic rivalry, as this charismatic powerhouse aims to become the first ever African-American AEW World Champion. Number 6, Orange Cassidy. In the wake of his outstanding battle with Will Ospreay at Forbidden Door, it actually felt as though Tony Khan could have possibly ran with Orange Cassidy as an unexpected AEW World Championship contender again if he felt like it. But instead, the AEW president opted to hold off on nudging his freshly squeezed favourite back into the main event spotlight. Cassidy was gifted with an All-Atlantic title reign for his consistently brilliant efforts on October 12's Dynamite at least. However, rather than distract fans from the idea of Cassidy finally reaching the top of the mountain after being one of the promotion's most over acts for years, said hilarious and engaging All-Atlantic run has only served as a reminder why an orange spell with the AEW World Championship could make for television gold. Or orange, I'm not sure. even if it only acted as a brief detour. There's no denying that building towards a shock Cassidy Triple B win could make for one of the loudest pops in AEW history. Number 5. Swerve Strickland. Strickland already has the makings of one of wrestling's genuine next real superstars, boasting an effortlessly cool look, supreme in-ring ability, and a connection with the audience that cannot be denied. And with the untrustworthy sensation also being a performer who's willing to bend the rules to get exactly what he so desires, MJF may actually meet his match when the time finally comes to set Swerve on the path to world title glory. Having the former NXT and WWE star stab a few more allies in the back or swerve into the anti-hero lane over the next year or so will only enhance each of those elements and make him a star primed to relieve Maxwell of his belt. Number 4. Malachi Black. After the sort of debut that made the former NXT champion feel like a bona fide force of nature out of the gates, besting Cody Rhodes in just 4 minutes on August 4th, 2021's Dynamite, Black eventually growing into a legitimate world championship threat felt pretty much guaranteed, right? But that momentum wasn't properly built on, and Black never really discovered that unsettling mojo in the months that followed. Now though, with the one-time Tommy End very much coming across as a cold-hearted destroyer once again, it feels like as good a time as ever to start re-establishing Malachi's main event aura in the lead up to an eventual collision with MJF. Watching these two polar opposites come face to face feels about as fresh as it does unpredictable. And the idea of the House of Black's war on everyone leading to the squad's leader holding the top title in the company now doesn't feel quite as unrealistic as it once did. Number 3. Ricky Starks. His scintillating promo exchanges with one of the greatest mic workers of this era forced many to actually believe in the unthinkable, that the former FTW champion could somehow walk out of his adopted state of Texas as the new AEW World Champion so early into the reign of terror. And while he did ultimately come up short thanks to a whack to the bollocks, Starks' time will come again if AEW are fond of making money, which is precisely what Starks vs MJF 2 would generate plenty of. Also, forcing Starks to once again work from the back of the line to the front over the next year or so would only make the moment he finally overthrows the devil that little more satisfying to behold. Number 2. Darby Allin. Arguably stealing a pay-per-view that also possessed the likes of CM Punk vs Eddie Kingston, Bryan Danielson vs Miro, and Kenny Omega vs Hangman Page, Maxwell's show-opening battle with Darby Allin at Full Gear 2021 showcased the first glimpse of what AEW's future could look like as the two bitter rivals put on a clinic in their bids to walk out of the Target Center as the number 1 pillar. A lot has changed since Maxwell took those all-important steps towards being the first of said chosen ones to lift the AEW World Championship. But the nature of MJF's Diamond Ring assisted victory that night means that this highly personal feud could be reignited at any given moment should TK decide it's time for the pair to settle their unfinished business. That being said, the face-painted underdog would likely need to pick up a meaningful victory or two after a largely hit-and-miss 2022 before making his way back onto Maxwell's radar. And when Darby finally does get his hands on MJF again, there's a solid chance a second pillar will be added to the AEW World Championship lineage. Number 1. Jungle Boy. Dramatically putting his long-running rivalry with Christian Cage and Luchasaurus in the rearview mirror for now, the Star's Full Gear 2022 victory over the latter felt like a real turning point for Jack Perry as a performer. The days of classing him as an up-and-coming star overflowing with potential appear to be coming to an end, with the supremely gifted talent continually delivering the goods of late and exuding the confidence and presence of a world champion in waiting. At just 25 years old, Perry would unquestionably benefit from another year or two of holding his own as a top single star, but after finally seeing off the dastardly Captain Charisma and getting a few more notable feuds under his belt, a battle over AEW's future as the bidding war of 2024 finally arrives on the scene could provide both Jungle Boy and MJF with a program that takes each young sensation to the next level. And if Maxwell does decide to go elsewhere, then having the greedy villain do the honors for the increasingly popular Perry on the way out would likely blow the roof off of any arena on the planet. Or maybe he'll just take the belt to WWE and AEW will just, I don't know, explode. And that's our list of any other wrestlers AEW should build to dethrone MJF. Let us know all about them in the comments section right down below, and do not forget to like, share, and click on that subscribe button while you're at it. Also, if you like this kind of thing, then head on over to whatculture.com and find some more fantastic articles just like the one this video you're watching right this second is based on. I've been Gareth from whatculture.com. Thank you very much for watching this video today. Hopefully I'll see your faces very, very soon, but in the meantime, just be good to yourself. Bye bye!